The Afghan War refers to a series of conflicts that have taken place in Afghanistan since the late 1970s. The most recent phase of the Afghan War began in 2001 when a US-led coalition invaded Afghanistan to remove the Taliban government, which had been harboring al-Qaeda terrorists responsible for the 9/11 attacks. The war has been marked by intense fighting between coalition forces and various militant groups, including the Taliban and other insurgent groups. The conflict has also involved Afghan government forces, as well as regional and international actors. The war has had a profound impact on Afghanistan, with tens of thousands of people killed and millions displaced. It has also had a significant impact on the international community, with many countries providing military and humanitarian support to Afghanistan. Despite efforts to bring about a peaceful resolution to the conflict, fighting continues in many parts of the country. The Afghan War has been a complex and protracted conflict that has involved multiple parties with competing interests. The war has been fought on many fronts, including military, political, economic, and social. After the US-led coalition's initial invasion in 2001, the Taliban were quickly removed from power, but they continued to fight against coalition forces and the Afghan government. The coalition's efforts to stabilize Afghanistan and establish a functioning government have been hampered by ongoing violence, corruption, and political instability. The war has also been marked by a significant humanitarian crisis, with millions of Afghans displaced and in need of humanitarian aid. The conflict has had a particularly devastating impact on women and children, with widespread human rights abuses, including violence against women and girls, forced displacement, and restrictions on freedom of expression and movement. In recent years, efforts have been made to negotiate a peace agreement between the Afghan government and the Taliban, but progress has been slow and limited. The withdrawal of US and other foreign troops from Afghanistan in 2021 has led to a surge in violence and a Taliban takeover of the country. The situation in Afghanistan remains highly uncertain, with significant implications for the country's people, neighboring countries, and the broader international community. The prospects for a lasting peace agreement in Afghanistan are uncertain and depend on many complex factors. Some of the key challenges to achieving lasting peace include ongoing violence and insecurity, political instability, corruption, and the competing interests of various stakeholders. The Taliban's recent takeover of Afghanistan has further complicated the prospects for peace. While the Taliban have expressed a willingness to negotiate with other Afghan stakeholders, they have not yet demonstrated a commitment to upholding human rights or allowing for a democratic political process. International pressure may play a role in encouraging the Taliban to engage in meaningful negotiations and uphold their commitments to human rights and governance. The United Nations, regional organizations, and individual countries may use their diplomatic leverage to push for a peaceful resolution to the conflict. However, given the complex and long-standing nature of the conflict in Afghanistan, achieving a lasting peace agreement will likely require sustained efforts from all parties involved. This will involve addressing the root causes of the conflict, building trust among stakeholders, and creating a sustainable political, economic, and social framework for the country.